Be honest. What's the very first thing you do when you wake up? For most people, it goes like this. The alarm goes off, they hit snooze a couple of times, finally roll out of bed, and the very first thing their hand reaches for is the phone. Within seconds, they're scrolling through Instagram, checking notifications, reading the news, or diving into emails. And without even realizing it, before they've brushed their teeth, before they've even taken a deep breath, their brain is already in stress mode. They've let the outside world dictate their mental state. Now here's the truth no one tells you. Millionaires don't start their mornings like this. The wealthiest, most successful people in the world protect those first few minutes of their day like gold. They know those minutes set the tone, the energy, and the focus for everything that follows. And here's the surprising part. It doesn't take hours of meditation. It doesn't require an expensive morning routine, and you don't need a personal assistant handing you green juice at sunrise. Instead, they use a simple, intentional practice, a practice that takes less than 5 minutes, but it's powerful enough to shift their mindset, sharpen their focus, and prime them to operate at their very best. And the best part? You don't need millions in the bank to do this. You don't need fancy routines, expensive gadgets, or endless free time. You just need this one 5-minute morning habit. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use it to rewire your mind for clarity, confidence, and ultimately wealth. And once you start, you'll wonder how you ever began your day without it. Part 1: Why morning habits matter. Think about it. Your brain is like wet cement in the morning. Whatever you pour into it first will harden and shape the rest of your day. If the first thing you do is check your emails, scroll through social media, or absorb negativity from the news, then you're literally locking in stress, distraction, and anxiety as your foundation. And once that foundation hardens, the rest of your day will feel scattered and reactive. But imagine the opposite. Imagine pouring clarity, vision, and intentional focus into that fresh cement. Instead of random chaos, you're imprinting purpose. Instead of stress, you're setting calm confidence. Now, your brain isn't just wandering through the day hoping to stumble into success. It's programmed to look for opportunities, to filter out noise, and to execute on what actually matters. This is exactly what separates average performers from millionaires. Most people wake up and immediately hand control of their minds to the outside world. But the wealthy, the top performers, the visionaries, they protect those first few minutes like treasure. They know that those tiny choices, what you focus on, what you feel, what you visualize, are like seeds. And whatever you plant in the morning, you end up harvesting throughout the day. It's not luck. It's not just long hours. It's not even about who's the smartest. It's about who trains their mindset every single morning to operate at a higher level. Because when your mind is programmed for clarity and success, everything else, your actions, your habits, your decisions, follows automatically. Part 2: The 5-minute wealth reset. So what exactly is this habit? I call it the 5-minute wealth reset. It's broken into 3 simple steps: gratitude, visualization, and focus. Let's break it down. Back and index pointing right. Step 1: gratitude. First, take just 1 minute to write down 3 things you're grateful for. And don't overthink it. Gratitude doesn't have to be about huge achievements. It could be as simple as the smell of your morning coffee, the roof over your head, the supportive friend or family member who always has your back, or the fact that you woke up healthy today when many people didn't get that chance. Here's why this matters. Gratitude literally changes your brain chemistry. Studies show it boosts dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good chemicals that help you feel more motivated and resilient. Most people wake up already stressed about bills, deadlines, and problems. But when you train your brain to notice abundance instead of lack, you start operating from confidence rather than fear. And that's the secret millionaires understand. They don't walk around thinking about what they're missing. They see the opportunities they already have. Gratitude is the foundation that allows them to take bigger, bolder risks without being paralyzed by scarcity. Back into Next Pointing Right, Step 2, visualization. Next, close your eyes for 2 minutes and vividly picture one financial goal. Don't just think of numbers in a bank account. Make it real. Imagine what it feels like to achieve it. Maybe you're shaking hands after closing your first big deal. Maybe you're walking through the doors of your dream home. Maybe you're finally debt-free, sitting at your desk stress-free, knowing you're financially free. The trick is to involve all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What emotions are running through you? The more vivid, the more powerful. Why? Because your brain doesn't know the difference between vividly imagined success and real success. It wires the same neural pathways either way. That's why elite athletes like Michael Phelps, Serena Williams, and Kobe Bryant relied heavily on visualization. They saw the win before they stepped into the arena. They rehearsed success so many times in their mind that when the real moment came, their brain and body just executed. Millionaires do the same thing with their financial goals. They live in the vision of success first, and then they work daily to bring it into reality. Back into Next Pointing Right, Step 3, intentional focus. Finally, grab a pen and write down one specific action you're going to take today that moves you closer to financial freedom. Just one. That's it. It could be sending a proposal, making a sales call, researching an investment opportunity, finishing that course you've been putting off, or even starting a small side hustle you've been procrastinating on. The key is that it's not random busy work. It's something that actually pushes you toward your bigger vision. Here's why this works. Most people wake up to an endless to-do list, 20, 30, even 40 things they think they should do. That leads to overwhelm, procrastination, and wasted energy. Millionaires don't operate like that. They don't chase everything. They laser in on the single action that will move the needle the most. And by writing it down, you're not just making a plan, you're committing yourself. You're programming your brain to look for opportunities all day long to make that one action easier to execute. That's how small, consistent steps compound into massive success. Back in Index Pointing Right, final thought on the 3 steps. Now here's the magic. This whole routine, gratitude, visualization, focus takes less than 5 minutes. But those 5 minutes completely shift the lens through which you see the world. Instead of reacting to life, you're directing it. Instead of being controlled by distractions, you're anchored in purpose. And instead of letting scarcity run your decisions, you're moving from abundance and clarity. That's the mindset millionaires carry with them every single day. Part 3, real-world examples. Still skeptical? Let's look at some real examples of people who built extraordinary success by mastering their mornings. Take Oprah Winfrey. She's often described as one of the most influential women on the planet, but her mornings aren't about rushing into chaos. She starts with gratitude journaling, meditation, and visualization. She's said many times that this simple habit of centering herself every morning became the foundation for her billion-dollar empire. Oprah didn't wait until she was rich to do it. She practiced it when she was still building her path. Now look at Elon Musk. People imagine his days are packed with rocket launches and Tesla meetings, and they are. But even with an insane schedule, he keeps his mornings structured around focus. He prioritizes the hardest, most important task first thing in the day. No distractions, no busy work, just laser focus. That's how he manages to lead multiple groundbreaking companies at once. And then there's Jim Carrey. Before anyone in Hollywood knew his name, he wrote himself a personal check for $10 million. Every single morning, he visualized himself cashing that check. He didn't just wish for it. He felt it, believed it, and lived in that future reality until it became his present. A few years later, he landed a movie role that paid him exactly that amount. And these are just a few names you know. Pushpin, countless athletes, entrepreneurs, and artists share the same secret. Michael Jordan was famous for using visualization before games. Steve Jobs often began his mornings by asking himself powerful reflection questions like, if today were my last day, would I be happy with what I'm about to do? Even Warren Buffett starts his day with quiet, intentional reading to set his mental tone before making billion-dollar decisions. Different people, different industries, different paths, but the same principle repeats itself. They use morning habits to program their minds for success before the success ever showed up. That's the key. You don't wait until you've made it big to practice these habits. You do them now, so your mind is already operating at the level you're aiming for. So here's the challenge. Tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, before you check your emails, and before the world demands your attention, take just 5 minutes for yourself. Just 5 minutes to run through the wealth reset. Gratitude, visualization, and focus. Start your day by training your mind, not draining it. Because here's the truth. The world will always try to control your time, your energy, and your attention. But millionaires, they take control of their mornings first. Now imagine this. 30 days from now, you've been doing this consistently. You wake up feeling calm instead of stressed. You know exactly what to work on instead of drowning in endless to-dos. You start noticing opportunities that were invisible before. And people around you start asking, what changed? That's when you'll realize something powerful. Wealth isn't built overnight, but it is built daily. It's not about one lucky break, one viral idea, or one trade that makes you rich. It's about the micro habits you repeat every single morning until they become part of who you are. So I'll ask you this. If you can't dedicate just 5 minutes to rewiring your mindset each day, how will you ever handle the responsibility, the discipline, and the clarity it takes to manage millions? If this video gave you value, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe for more wealth and success strategies, and share this with a friend who's on their own journey. And in fact, drop a comment below and tell me, what's the one thing you'd visualize if you started this tomorrow? I want to hear your vision. Because at the end of the day, becoming a millionaire doesn't start with your bank account. It starts with your belief system, your habits, and your mindset. And the beautiful thing is you get to reset that mindset every single morning. 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes to unlock a millionaire future. The only question is, are you willing to give yourself that gift tomorrow morning?